responsibility, walking for rights, hearing the voices.
The 1963 Birmingham Children's Crusade
By Holly Wilmot,
Dan Studding.
Allie Watkins,
and Allie Studding.
Imagine walking down the street, being spit on, and not being able to fight back.
Imagine having to submit oneself as the lesser because of skin color.
Imagine not being able to use the facilities because this person is better than I am.
Imagine hoping for the one day to overcome all of this.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday.
Birmingham, Alabama, 1963. Arguably the most racist, segregated, and hate-filled city in all of America, became the site of a 9-day demonstration of hope by its children. Efforts towards racial equality in the South had been at a standstill. Birmingham city officials used all possible means to keep public facilities segregated. Bathrooms, diners, movie theaters, you name it.
In reaction to the segregation, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. came to Birmingham in hopes of correcting these wrongs. The fight for African American civil rights became a responsibility of the children.
Upon his arrival in April of 1963, Dr. King started protesting with local adults who shared an equal passion for change, a balancing of rights. These adults were protesting without a permit. Dr. King and many others were thrown in jail. This response by Birmingham city officials then discouraged adults from protesting. They thought,
Now why should I be protesting if I'm just going to get thrown in jail? And so they stopped fighting for their rights. Adults had jobs to keep and children to feed. Going to jail would throw all of this away.
during Dr. King's stay in Birmingham City Jail, he wrote a letter to the Birmingham city officials in response to the negative views regarding his demonstrations taking place in Birmingham.
My dear fellow clergymen, while confined here in the Birmingham City Jail, I came across your recent statement calling my present activities unwise and untimely. I'm here because injustice is here. It is unfortunate that demonstrations are taking place here in Birmingham, but it is even more unfortunate that the city's white power structure left the Negro community with no alternative.
During Dr. King's stay in jail, a prominent member of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, James Bevel, came up with a controversial idea that would shock the nation. The use of children to move forward with the civil rights campaign in Birmingham. One way to encourage students to join the fight were public mass meetings.
Good evening, children. My name is James Bevel, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about why I'm here in your hometown of Birmingham. We know that many of your moms and dads cannot participate in this fight for rights because their responsibility is to keep you safe, fed, and in line. And you know they cannot do that from jail. So that is where y'all come into play. We need as many of you as we can, boys, girls, kids, teens, to meet down at the 16th Street Baptist Church this Thursday, May 2nd, 1963. The police, they might hit you, they might spit on you, they will have dogs and billy clubs, but the only response ever is no response, or a prayerful response. Faith is very much a part of what we're doing here.
Another way to encourage students to join the fight was simply going door to door and asking for anybody to help. Yes, sorry to bother you at such an hour, but ma'am, my name is Dorothy Cotton, and I'm the Education Director of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. And I was wondering if you had any children who'd be willing to come down this Thursday.
Fight for freedom and didn't go to school? Well, yes, I have a daughter, but I'm afraid I'm not going to let my child be a part of this mess. I've heard what you're doing with all the children and how you're using to fight a battle that ain't theirs to be fighting.
But ma'am, you see, if children step up, America will see that a change needs to be made, a better life to be living in. And if you want change, of course, the bottom line is that the folk for whom the change is meant must be involved in it.
Listen, I want change just as much as everybody else wants change, but I marched last month and all it did for me was lose my job. I'm done talking. Good night.
But ma'am, please, if you
I said good night.
Thank you for your time.
Hey, Mrs.
Goodness, child.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to frighten you. My name's Audrey Hendricks, and I want to go to jail.
Excuse me?
I know you just talked to my mama, and I know she don't want me marching, but all the kids at school are talking about it, and they're telling me to go down to the 16th Street Baptist Church, and well, I want to go.
But honey, your mama just said she wasn't comfortable.
I know. I heard her, and I know she's scared, but I feel it's my responsibility, and I want to say that I was one of those children so much.
Hello, children. My name is James Bevel.
And my name is Dorothy Cotton.
We're from the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, and we want to welcome all children protesters to this momentous occasion, May 2nd, 1963, our D-Day.
I just tuned the radio to WENN, and we will wait for the song All Men Created by God to begin to play. And that, children, is your cue that signifies that the march is ready to begin.
All right, kids, get with your partners. We'll be sending you in groups of about 50.
Your destination, City Hall.
And so they gathered. Around 800 young demonstrators, like myself, assembled at the 16th Street Baptist Church, May 2nd, 1963. Organizers recorded the vital statistics of the children. Name, age, parents' name, and address in case of emergency.
You hear that, kids? That's the song and there's your cue. Remember everything we have told you. A prayer for response is our only response.
God be with you.
Audrey, I'm scared.
Well, why? What are they going to do to us anyway? We're just kids.
Yeah, that's true. Let's go. Our group's next.
Ain't gonna let no jailhouse turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking. March to the freedom land.
The first day of the march is completed with little to no physical confrontation between Birmingham city officials and the children. However, the second day of the march, is known as Double D-Day, brought about a different reaction. Police Commissioner of Public Safety, Bull Connor, called for the use of attack dogs and fire hoses to be used against the children.
Let no Chevy turn me around. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on.
What are you two doing?
We're just marching.
Shut up! Get on the bus!
They kept hitting me, and I just couldn't get on that bus fast enough.
Bit twice in the arm by a dog.
The hoses, they were spraying. I didn't know what to do.
I was spit on by an adult.
We did what we were told.
We were prayerful.
But was it worth it?
Yes. Don't you guys see we're getting our rights?
Well, I don't think it's our responsibility. I mean, it ain't worth getting treated like this.
Yeah, look at all these kids. There's so many of us that I heard they're gonna move us to the fairgrounds.
But listen, I bet there's thousands of us in here. That's not a bad thing. We're proving to America that we have taken responsibility just by being here. And I want to go to any diner, any theater, any school. I want freedom. We shall all be free. We shall all be free. We shall all be free someday. After 2 days of negotiations between members of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference and Birmingham city officials, the march is officially ended on May 10th, 1963. The Children's Crusade lasted a total of 9 days.
Imagine Birmingham desegregating lunch counters, dining rooms, fitting rooms, 90 days after the children were released from jail on May 11th, 1963.
Imagine victory in Birmingham inspiring desegregation protests across the South.
Imagine 10 weeks after Birmingham, statisticians count 568 protests in 186 cities, resulting in 14,733 arrests.
Imagine direct action demonstrations erupting community after community.
The United States began to wake from an age of segregation through widespread, nonviolent measures.
Birmingham stood at a threshold for future rights and equality, including
The 1964 Civil Rights Act, signed into law by President Lyndon B. Johnson.
Dispelling the Jim Crow laws, which deeply permeated Southern society.
Equal job opportunities.
the election of the first African-American president of the United States.
To provide equal rights for all.
Oh, deep